Next up, we have Skye-Lee, who will be talking about her personal experience with stress and resilience.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this year's Avenue to Awareness talk. My name is Skye-Lee, and today I'll be talking about stress and resilience and how I cope with them. Before we begin, I'd like to give you a bit of a backstory about me. I am 23 years old. I live at home with my mum and nan while I study at Central Queensland University. When I was 3 years old, my parents divorced and had joint custody of me. When I was 15, my mother received a job up here in Gladstone. And when I was 18, I got into the Australian Air Force. At the same time, I got accepted into university. I still don't know why I didn't join the Air Force, but that's a story for another time. So what is stress? Well, according to the Mental Health Foundation, stress can be defined as the degree to which we feel overwhelmed or unable to cope as a result of pressures that are unmanageable. Stress is our body's response to pressures from a situation or life event, and what affects stress can vary from person to person. The first time I considered myself to experience stress was when I was 16 in grade 11. I had a huge art assessment and I was doing the final touches for it because it was due the next day. I had all the photographs in my frame and everything was perfect. Then I stood up. In the process of standing up, I stood on my frame, which caused the glass to break. It took me a second to realize what had happened, and when I did, I just began crying. My mum and nan came in. They saw what happened. Mum sat with me and hugged me, saying, "It's okay," and nan helped me clean up my now broken art assessment. This was in 2013 when seniors still had to do OP assessments to get into university. And as I cried, I said, "Mum, I don't want to go to school anymore. I don't want to do OP anymore." And I didn't. It was way too stressful. Even now, I think that grade 11 and 12 is too stressful for students. On top of that, I had the guidance counsellor telling me that I was going to be getting an OP 19 or below, which is like the bottom of OP ranks. And it made me feel like I was stupid. But I wasn't. I never was. I just didn't study for exams. My mum, however, was amazing. She sat there and listened to me cry and said, "Skye, if you don't want to do OP subjects anymore, that's fine. We'll go into school tomorrow and sort it out." Not once did she force me to do OP subjects or to get A's or get angry because I only got C's. She was and has always been there, standing behind me, ready to catch me if I fall and to help me back up again if I do. Even now at university, I stress so much knowing that I have assessments due. And I find that it's helpful to have her there to talk to about it. If there's one thing I have learned about stress, it's that it's always best to have someone to talk to, whether it be family, a friend, or a total stranger. If you can't find somebody near you that you can talk to, there are so many different organisations out there that have people who are willing to listen and willing to support you through your time of stress. Organisations like Beyond Blue, Lifeline Australia, Men's Line Australia, Kids Helpline, Headspace, Black Dog Institute. They're all institutes that will help you deal with not only stress but other mental health issues that you may face. The next topic I'd like to talk about is resilience. Resilience is the ability to adapt to change. For example, you might experience trauma and the grief and pain that comes with that trauma. However, you are still able to function both physically and psychologically. Think of resilience like your body's ability to adapt to change, a body's ability to adapt to climate, You might originate from, say, the North Pole where it's snowing and cold and you have to wear a big jacket and some boots all the time. And then you decide to move to the Caribbean where it's hot and sunny all year long. At first you find that it's really hot and you're always sweaty and sticky and thirsty. But your body gradually begins to change. It begins to acclimatize to the weather, and you don't feel so sweaty or sticky or hot anymore. You have acclimatized to the Caribbean weather. Acclimatization is my metaphor for resilience. Your body does the same thing. It feels everything strongly at first, but then your body begins adapting to the changes around you. You become resilient in the face of adversity. I believe I am a resilient person. My parents divorced when I was 3. I don't remember it much. When I was 13, I ran away from home. It happened. I've accepted it. When I was 15, my mum got a job and we moved from everything that I knew in Brisbane. Now, I could have acted out, but I didn't. Admittedly, the first week of school, I was extremely sad. I was sad to the point where I couldn't lift my hand up to brush my hair. I had to get mum to brush my hair in the mornings because I didn't have the strength to do it myself. I had no friends until one day, at the end of the week, I made a friend. Now, I have never not had a friend, so for me, this was a completely new experience. But the moment I said hello and they said, "Hey, do you want to have lunch with me?" I was ecstatic. My dark cloud had vanished. It couldn't be seen and everything was right again in the world. Being able to take that first step and say hello when I felt so sad inside, to me, that was being resilient. Now, it took me quite a while to figure out what I was going to talk about today. And after thinking and thinking, I honestly couldn't think of any mental health issues that I could personally talk about. That's not to say I am somehow immune to mental health issues, because I'm not. There were times in my life that I have suffered trauma, but I have been resilient enough, and I had the world's greatest buffer, my mum and Nan, that were there to support me. Thanks to them, I can look at the me now to the me when I was 12 years old, and I can say, I don't think my personality has changed much. With everything that has happened in my life, it amazes me that I am still me, that I have been resilient enough to still be me. And that's what I hope that you can do as well. I hope that you can see the you now and say, I am still the me that I was when I was 12 years old. Because everybody, absolutely everybody deserves to be resilient. And being resilient helps us to live through all the changes that happen throughout our lives. And if you are struggling, that's okay. But remember, you do not have to do it alone. I certainly didn't. I had my mum and Nan there to support me. Whether it's your family, a friend, or a professional, find that one person that is willing to listen to you and to provide support, because no one has to go it alone. If you take one thing away from this talk today, I hope you know that stress is okay. Stress is normal. And everybody feels stress at one point or another throughout their lives. Remember, there are ways that you can manage your stress. You just need to figure out the best strategy that works for you. Thank you for listening to me today. Have a wonderful day and keep on smiling.